Hey guys, welcome to Bink's Corvair Addiction. Well, here I am again with my gasket leaking. My oil pan gasket. I have no idea at this point anymore. Originally, when we built the motor, I did the Corvair's best gasket, which was cork rubber composite. That's the one that Clark said was the best for it when I ordered the finned oil pan through Clark's, and I had just I can't remember how I put it. It's been so long. I put that one in here, and I believe I actually did not even use any Permatex or anything on it because I figured it's a brand new oil pan. The surface was perfectly nice and flat. I didn't use Permatex, and it kind of somped up. Seemed like it's, besides it leaking all over the place, it seemed like the composite stuff kind of just somped up the oil and started leaking through it. But and part of the problem is with that one there is I had torqued it down, and then we test ran the motor a couple times, and like a week or so later I checked the torques again, and it seems like they had loosened up, like it compressed that cork rubber composite. So I torqued it up again, and that's when it really started, leaking more. So I went on Corvair groups, and I had asked, and I'm at the point now I won't really even go on Corvair groups and ask, because you get so many different people saying different things, wrong things, right things, and wrong things, and a lot of it's just what works good for them too, which is great, But one person was building three motors, and he was nice enough to send me, the groups are great. They send you all the information and stuff like that. A lot of people send you everything that you need and help you out. So he had sent me pictures and everything that he only uses rubber only. And to go ahead and use I don't know if it was Right Stuff. That's what everybody said to use, so that's what I have is Right Stuff. And to go ahead and put Right Stuff around the whole thing, thin layer around all the nut and bolt or all through the bolts, all the way around both sides. So I had cleaned this up, and that's what I did. I put a thin layer on the pan. I put the pan gasket on it, and I did a thin layer on the motor bottom here all the way around, and per the instructions I hand tightened them up. I didn't tighten them, I didn't torque them, hand tightened them up finger tight, and let it sit for an hour, and then went ahead and torqued them. So when I was torquing these rubber ones, I torqued it to 10 pounds, and the rubber was really squishing out, so I just stopped there. I was like, this is just, it's just really coming out a lot. So I stopped there, and it has been sitting here. Well, I let it actually sit for it sat for well over a week before I even put oil in it. I put oil in it probably a week and a half ago, and it's wet around it. I had noticed that the one, I think it was the center bolt towards the front here, was actually, even through the bolt, was a big drip on that one there too. So what I actually did is I took that one out. Gary's like, he was over, he said, I'll just take it out, clean it out. So I took a little air, blew it a little bit, and wiped it out with a little lacquer thinner, put some Right Stuff in there, and screwed the bolt in it. I don't really see any there now, but it's leaking all the way around, and that is with the motor out, not even running or anything. So I'm thinking, geez, when this thing's running, it's going to be really leaking. So got another composite one here, and I'm going to drain the oil again, and I'm going to wipe it all nice and clean off all the old Right Stuff off of there, and I'm going to do it with this one, both sides with the Right Stuff. Let it sit for an hour, before I torque it down. And, I'll make sure I get all the let it drip really well, wipe it out so none of the oil's kind of coming down on any of this before, within that hour, hopefully. And we'll tighten it all back up again, and I'll let it sit for a few days before I even put oil on it. So yeah, it's just I can't win with these things, I guess. I don't know what the trick is, but that's what I'm gonna do on it. And if it leaks, then I don't know what to do anymore at that point. So. Yeah, the original first time we had put this thing together with the composite, rubber cork composite gasket, I think I torqued it to 12 or 13 pounds. And this one here with the rubber, I only torqued it to 10, and it was squishing out like butter. So I just stopped at 10, you know. I don't know, should I have torqued it more? I don't know. I told Gary that too, and when he was here, he was over here yesterday, and he looked at it, said, yeah, look, see, it's all wet and leaking already again there, and he's like, shakes his head, and he's like, look at the gasket, it's really squishing out, you know. So I don't know, maybe just because the gasket maybe is just too rubbery. I don't know, but I don't know. We'll let this drain here, and this thing's had more oil changes than anything. This is probably the sixth time the oils came out of it. I'm putting this back in there because I've had this pan out and cleaned it. You know, it was clean anyways because I had so many times I changed the oil because of doing different things and having problems, and never even really hardly just running the motor a couple times on during testing. But anyways, we'll let this drip. All right, this would be 3 times the charm for this one. I got them all off except for the 4 corners. And I don't know, guys, let me know what to do. I'm just tired of, you know, they all say they leak, but it shouldn't leak like this. Should it? Look, it's leaking right through, well, maybe, it doesn't matter because I took it out. I was gonna say it's leaking right through my bolt hole there, but now she's raining. Yeah. I just let it drip for a little bit here. Eesh. What a mess. A mess. Just get her done. Get her off, right? Right. That's why I figured. Oop, wrong way. And I don't torque them with this. I torque them by hand. I just was using this to get them off quicker. And I talked to Gary this morning because I talk to him every day. Pretty much, almost every day. And I told him I'm pulling it apart. And he says, I got an assortment of gaskets down for you. That I have pushed that aside because I've been having so much trouble with this stuff. So here it is. Did I just go too thin with it? I don't know. There's spots on there. It's like, look at it. It's just, I don't know. There's spots like on here. It's just, you know, I don't know. And I had cleaned this. Clean it. No oil on nothing on there before I did it. I mean, this thing was clean. Lacquer thinner, wiped, clean and dry. Here's underneath. And I had this all wiped out, clean, dry. It actually sat overnight before, and anything dripped, and then I wiped it. So it was clean, you know, I don't know. I want to go heavier with it for sure. And try it with that composite rubber cork one. We'll see. 3 times the charm. All right. So I just spent a lot of time under here cleaning it. Oh, it wasn't too bad. I got it all real nice and clean. And I took a flat file and just checked all the edges. Checked everything real nice with that. So there's I don't know what else to do other than what I just did. And this one here is the one that was leaking out of. So I did blow a little air in the holes too, a little bit, make sure there's nothing in there. Clean, make sure they're all nice and clean. So that's clean. Let's go look at the pan. Here's my pan. That's a brand new pan. It's clean as clean. Nothing else I can do to that. And I'll go get some more right stuff because I probably don't have enough. And we'll go ahead and try to put this back together. All right, another tube of right stuff. I'm just gonna go ahead and open this one. Maybe there's something wrong with the last one. I did see, this is black, I do believe. They had gray there. Does it say black? I don't know. Oh, they had, yeah, black. They did have a gray. So there's 20 bucks gone. And is what it is. Let's get this all smeared up so we can let it sit for an hour. Now last time I just put a real thin coat on. This time I went a little more generous with it. So, I don't know. We'll stick it on there and hope. So, there we go. We got our gasket on there. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to goop this top of the gasket and then I'll stick it on there. Last time I gooped it up there, so I'm just going to goop this end with it and double check that that's wiped clean. And before I bolt it in there, I'll take my bolts, make sure I'll take a little brake cleaner and blow them off so there's no residue, no oil. So, all right, guys, I got it all in. Before I put it in, I took all the bolts and I put them on a rag and I sprayed them all with brake cleaner, wiped them all, sprayed them again, wiped them, blew them off with the air hose so all these bolts were clean, free of oil or anything like that. The surface on the bottom of the motor here that the pan gets bolted to, the aluminum surface, I took a little flat file and a wide one, and I just double checked everything was clear off of it. I wiped that all off. I took any oil that would be leaking in. It hasn't really been leaking because it's been off for a few hours now. There was a couple of spots with a hole where the oil was coming in a little bit. I took Q-tips and wiped that all clean. So there wouldn't be any oil leaking down while this stuff is trying to set. I did everything I could do. I wiped it, cleaned it. You wiped it with brake cleaner, wiped it. I went ahead and I put this in. These are all finger tight. I just took my socket with extension and just finger tightened them. Last time, this one here was leaking oil. And it was dripping off of the bolt. And when I took it apart, it was sealed around it with the rubber gasket and right stuff on both sides. So I don't know. So what I did is I took these three here, because when I cleaned this thing out, I blew a little air in all the holes. These three here had oil that came out of them. So I wiped it off, blew it a couple times. And when I put these three in, I actually put some right stuff in the holes too and screwed them in there. I said I got about, I don't know, 40 minutes now to wait, and then I will go ahead and snug all these. Bill and Tucson said start in the center, work yourself out each way. So I'll just snug it a little tighter each way, and then I'll take the torque wrench and I'm gonna do them at 10, and then I'm gonna go around and do them at 12. I'll wipe off the excess that comes out and cross my fingers. This is 3 times now. 3 times. So I don't know. I don't know what to do after this anymore, I guess I could weld a metal pan under here that I could slide out of here and to catch the oil at this point, because it's ridiculous. Oop. And I don't know. I'm doing the best I can. and just having nothing but problems with this. So let me know if there's I don't know what else I'm doing. I don't think I should even put as much as I did on there, but last time I put a real nice thin coat on both sides of it, and then used a rubber gasket. This time here, I put a more generous amount on there, and we'll see. So I'm not going to put oil on it for, I don't know, maybe the end of the week, maybe 4 or 5 days from now. I think I won't put no oil in there, and we'll just hope and see. Maybe I finally. Everything on this vehicle has been apart 2 or 3 times, it seems like, but I'm learning. But this is driving me crazy already. It shouldn't leak. All right, we'll check this out in 4 or 5 days or something after I get oil on it and let it sit. And I was leaking after it's just sitting and not even running. So like I told Gary, I said, I gotta go ahead and take this apart. I says, once it's running out, it's warmed up, the oil is warm, and stuff will be really running out of here. So I don't know. All right, I'm gonna stop rambling on, and we'll check this thing out after I put oil in it and see sits for a few days. Maybe I'll have it running by then. All right, guys, here is an update on the oil pan gasket. This is weeks later now already. Lots of things have been done since. You can see this other stuff. You'll see it in the future videos. But since this here, we've had it running and put 20 miles on it or so, and it has held up fine. I have no leaks as of now. I do have a leak on my transmission here by the torque converter. It's dripping out of here a little bit. Gary says, do not freak out about it. He says, he goes, they can leak a little bit until the seal sets in. I don't know. I hope. It's not much, but it's a leak, So I guess I did a pretty good job. I try, every time I try to do the best I can do. So, so far I'm happy so far. So anyways, that's the oil pan gasket. It's in, it's working, it's sealed. Let me know what you think. I know there's just so many ways, different ways people do it, and different, Permatex, and use this, use that, and different gaskets, and everybody has their thing that works for them, And if I probably didn't use a finned aluminum gasket, maybe another one would work better. Use the rubber one. I don't know. I know I didn't torque it down too much, so I have no idea with that. And I know the first one, I ended up going back and torquing the cork rubber composite one. I ended up torquing that one down like a week later again, and that probably had crushed it a little bit. So I don't know. It's a thing where you guys got to figure it out, I guess, and figure out what works best for you, This has worked for me, and this is how I'm gonna stick with it. I actually did put the rubber ones in the gaskets, and the rubber gaskets on the valve covers, and that seems to be, so far working great, So, anyways, put your comments below. Let me know how I'm doing. And this is a total fighting discussion, is gaskets, spark plugs, and different things like that. So basically whatever works for you, I guess. I hope you get a little information out of this, and I shared a little information that helps you. This just happened to work for me. And so I guess that's about it for this video. On to the next one. So all I can say is, thanks for watching and sharing your comments, and on to the next video. So thanks again for watching Bink's Corvair Addiction. See you on the next episode.